Hello again, this is Jhaun Pryce, your real estate advocate, coming to you with some useful information. One of the things that I hear often from my clients, particularly with buyers, is how do they become competitive in this market? So we're going to talk about being competitive as a buyer. So one of the things that you generally want to consider for being competitive is what is the most attractive offer for a seller. Over above everything, it's usually all cash, right? What are the things that make an all cash offer more appealing or more attractive to the seller is the lack of risk. So when you're looking at putting in your offer as a buyer to stand out as a competing buyer, you want to have as little risk as possible to the seller for them to be able to sell the home. So what are some of the things that make it less risky for the seller? The things that make it less risky for the seller are the things that would allow for the buyer to be able to back out of the contract. So typically with most contracts, you'll have an inspection contingency. You'll oftentimes have a financing contingency. You'll oftentimes have an appraisal contingency if you are financing. There are other things that we would have to look at to make sure that the property is insurable. If there's any associations, you have to apply for associations, so on and so forth. But the three main things that will typically make the offer more attractive to the seller are getting rid of some of your contingencies and actually closing in a much more expeditious manner. So that is, you're going to get rid of your appraisal contingency. Keep in mind that whenever you're purchasing a home, if the property does not appraise enough for you to get the mortgage, you're not going to get the mortgage anyway. So if you have extra money that you can bring above and beyond whatever the appraised value is of the property, you may be able to get rid of your appraisal contingency and make your offer that much stronger. Additional things that may be helpful to you in this market space would be something like getting rid of your inspection contingency. Now, I do caution clients whenever they're getting rid of their inspection contingency to have some level of certainty that this is the property that they want to move forward with. Because if you get rid of their inspection contingency, really the thing that you have left over would be your financing contingency, which in essence, if your lender has the capacity to give you a mortgage and now letter, you still have the out on the property. So getting rid of your inspection contingency, getting rid of your appraisal contingency are two of the strongest offers that will typically come to a seller's table. Now, you can also look at the converse of actually getting rid of the financing contingency and keeping perhaps the inspection contingency and then putting an insurance contingency, which will still make your offer just as strong. It just depends on the climate that you're dealing with, how many offers are on the table, and what your agent would advise for you. If you need any more assistance, click here for me and I will give you some more details. Thank you for taking the time.